about JavaFX. It's a new technology, and also very exciting technology. Just a couple of things. JavaFX has been given the role of client technology across desktop platforms, across mobile platforms, across that's also called as the RIA. Today we're going to be concentrating on just the desktop UI. Hopefully, in the coming days, we'll also move on to the mobile UI, mobile profile, and also web profile. That's the reason being that technology is still evolving. There are a couple of very tiny things to be resolved. I guess the next speaker is also going to be talking about consumer journey. That is going to be crucial for JavaFX to take off on the web. So for today, we're going to stick with JavaFX desktop profile. So JavaFX is interface technology that gives you very cool, very interactive interfaces that you can work with. And how many of you all have been around since the days of terminal? Has anyone worked on the terminal interface?
Can you speak up a little bit, please? Can you speak up a little bit louder?
Okay, how many of you all have been around since the mainframe terminal technology, terminal UI? Is anyone familiar with the terminal UI? Well, in the olden days, there was just a text UI, 80 by 40 characters that you had on screen, and you had very limited ways of interacting with the computer, so to speak. We've come a long way. We've gotten into what's called like the rich era. We have rich interfaces. I'm going to be showing you a couple of demos later on to give you an idea of what's possible today, and also because JavaFX itself is evolving so rapidly. In the coming days, we're going to be seeing even better things. This is just not the end of interface technologies. We're going to be seeing more 3D, more involved kind of interfaces. So, well, the earliest computers, anybody heard of the ENIAC? Was used in around about 1945 to crack crypto in UK. It had knobs and it had little balls that you could tune to make it work. That's how the interface started. So people would punch in numbers using these knobs and tune the algorithm to correct setting. That was very rudimentary, very basic, and that's a past, hopefully for the good. We used to have terminal interface that was that is still being used in some places. We have graphical UI. We all know Xerox was the first company to come up with a graphical UI. Later on, Apple and Windows and all the other operating systems have evolved into using graphical UI. The rich interface, that's where we are today. when you say rich interface, would anybody happy with the GUI as it is? Does anybody have any complaints with the GUI?
It doesn't look like how Mac does.
That's nice, yeah. Mac is in the forefront of UI technology, has been for a while. And with iPhone, I guess they are continuing that trend of being the trendsetters in UI technology. But here today we're going to be talking about JavaFX, which I personally think is better than the Mac interface. Provides better controls, provides better programmatic interfaces to UI.
So how it is different from graphical user interface? Something I want to understand. When you say rich interface, what do you mean?
That's a good question. If well, everybody has played games, at least one game. Have you seen games like what you name it? Yeah. Yeah.
Age of Empires.
Age of Empires. There you go. Yep. So gaming is very how do you say user interface intensive, and most of the controls in games today are rich. When you say rich, you basically mean that you have the graphics itself, and apart from that you have rich media like sound associated with, animation associated with it, and in some cases 3D effects associated with it, like a splash, like when you hit something, you see fire coming out of it. That's the kind of effects that you have, and also the controls. It's just not simply a mouse and a keyboard and so on. So you have controls like joysticks, you have steering wheels, you have things like the Wii, which has a little thingy you can move to control the game. So all these are associated with rich UI. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
And also, the last 10 years we've seen GUI being just rectangular windows, being shades of rectangles. Well, with JavaFX you can have irregular shaped windows or irregular shaped controls. You could do very pretty applications with JavaFX. Immersive interfaces. We all know virtual reality. People have been using it for learning things, to learn how to navigate from busy areas, how to do operations, medical procedures remotely, things like that. that's the